Welcome, everyone, to the La Jolla Cosmetic Podcast. I'm your hostess, Monique Ramsey. My guest today is Ruthie, and she's a patient coordinator at La Jolla Cosmetic Surgery Centre. Welcome, Ruthie.
Hi, everyone.
She's the most fun girl. I hope that everybody in the audience has a chance to meet her because she's very fun, very spunky, and knows a ton. So we're going to get into that today. So let's talk about what you do at the center and how you help patients.
So I love the part of being able to guide the patients from the beginning, from the initial call, and then being able to coordinate their upcoming appointments for surgery so they have a better understanding of what to expect from day one, from their consultation to their pre-op to the day of their surgery and even their post-op appointments, and whom they'll be seeing during those appointments as well.
Yeah, that's important to be able to sort of picture the journey, especially if you haven't ever done something like this before. A lot of people have never had surgery before for anything. And so it's sort of like if you kind of know what to expect and you have your bestie, sort of, you've got Ruthie, she's going to take you all the way through, that allows you as a patient to sort of like open up, hear the journey, be a part of the journey. And then knowing that you've got this helper, this buddy, this coordinator to guide you through because it is new for a lot of people. But I think that would be really fun to do.
Absolutely. I tend to be the girlfriend during that time period. I like to say we're going to have a good, just one-on-one chat and it's girlfriend talk. And we're going to go over a little bit about the procedure. We're going to walk you through the downtime. I'm going to go over the financial aspect and also even review some financing options. Here at La Jolla Cosmetic Surgery Center, we actually have some really great financing options through patient++ and through Care Credit. And I do feel like that is a huge aspect of patients' questions on how can I make this happen tomorrow?
Right. Because, that's something. And one of our really popular episodes is Janelle talking about patient financing. And we'll put a link in the show notes for afterwards if anybody's interested. But, 1 in 3 patients at La Jolla Cosmetic finance their surgery in some way. So that's a lot of people. And we've been doing that forever since the mid-90s, I think. So it's not new for us. And we can help find the right match for you, whether it's zero interest or it's a fixed interest for longer term, and that's where you come in to really help partner with them to get the right fit.
I try to kind of put myself in the patient's shoes at the moment, especially when it comes to those procedures that are needing to happen tomorrow. I know sometimes we need to happen tomorrow. Yes.
Because emergency facelifts are they're a real thing, right?
And, to have somebody on the other end that can understand and be like, okay, I'm not being judged here. I really just want to make this happen. Or sometimes it's just having this flexibility of those payments instead of everything all at once. And I have majority of the patients that go that route because it really does put things at ease and allows them to focus on other aspects. Also allows them to add maybe a tummy tuck or, a little bit of lipo here and there.
Right, exactly. It's like while you're in the OR, one recovery, you can have a couple more things. And if it is something kind of in the back of your mind, like, but I really love to have a little lipo of my flanks and a fat transfer in my face, use the fat. And and that's where the financing is great. So tell us how long you've been at La Jolla Cosmetic and what's the highlights so far for you working here?
It feels like it's home, but it's only been home very short. It's been a very short period. I've only been here for a little bit under 5 months. And I have to say, I love it. Everybody has been very welcoming, and the surgeons are so thoughtful and such a great team to work with. I have to say that I've learned so much, and I've been in the industry for a long time, but at the same time, having surgeons like the way we do that are about educating not just our patients, but also the staff and having that understanding that if the staff is educated, we are going to be even better as a whole, as a team to help educate our patients.
Right. What kind of medical experience did you bring into this role? And how is the role maybe now a little different than what you've done?
Well, I've been in patient coordination since I was 21, and I kind of fell into this world without really wanting to go into it. And it was amazing. I loved it. I've always enjoyed it, and I actually felt like I had a missing piece in my life, and I went back to school in my late 30s and took a different route. And I thought, okay, like going into dentistry and doing something different was going to, you know, excite me. But I always felt something was missing. And I have to say, the patient coordination, the guidance of that for patients, being there, being that person that they lean on, being that person that they call on, even the doubt. And I say doubt in the sense of, oh my gosh, like who's going to pick up the kids? And I'm like, I don't have a solution, but I'll talk to you.
Yeah, let's troubleshoot it together, right?
Exactly. And sometimes it's just needing that friend to talk to. And it's all been by accident coming into this role, but it has been amazing. I can't tell you how much I love every day coming into the office and doing what I love.
Oh, well, and you having that trust with a patient. So I can't go into specifics, obviously, but a friend of mine is thinking about having some surgery, and Ruthie has been the one to take care of my friend. And we were talking about this summer and all the things, and then it just wasn't working out. And you were kind of the one to be like, don't worry about it. Like, we'll be here next year. You could do it next summer. But talking through with her the things about, she's from out of state and where she's going to come and stay, and, figuring out kind of life and who's taking care of her. And you really helped bring a lot of clarity to her situation, and she's going to do it next year. And that's, I think, where then that trust factor is really high, because my friend is like, wow, that was not what I expected. You kind of would expect that somebody's going to push you into, getting your surgery tomorrow. And you really, you're developing a connection, I guess is what I'm trying to get at.
Yes. And I always tell patients is there's never a perfect time for surgery, but there's definitely not the right time. And we always kind of go over back and forth with dates when those situations come arise. And my whole part, my piece in this is to make that as easy as possible for them at a time that's going to be convenient for them and their family. And I think sometimes it is hard because obviously, patients want to have this done sooner than later, but at the same time, we want to make sure that they're able to recover and they're not feeling stressed. And if you're feeling stressed, it's just not going to be a great experience. And I think that's so important to remember as a patient coordinator is, and as going back to your question, one thing that I have always thought about in all the prior roles that I've had is how is this going to impact our patients? How is this experience? Is this going to be a positive or are we missing a piece? And how can I make this better for them? And that's placing myself once again in their shoes and, trying to picture, they have a family, they have a wedding coming up, what's important, at that moment in their lives.
Yeah, their motivations, and also, just helping them feel comfortable with whatever their decision is. If they say, I think I've bonded with the doctor, but maybe I need to go. I feel like my soul is telling me I need to see three, and I've only seen one. So can I go see three? And we're like, yeah, go. Right. Like, you have to do, do the shopping you have to do. And this is something that I've noticed over the years. And, I think you're speaking to the thought of helping meet the patient where they're at and helping them through.
When patients say that, I usually say, Yes, you should, because you need to feel comfortable and you need to feel confident with your decision. If we're not feeling those two things by the time we're scheduling, I'm not doing something right. We're not doing something right, and we need to figure it out, and we need to kind of find that comfort for you. And that can be reviewing the procedure, it can be reviewing, the downtime, it could be a lot of things. But if you need to go and make sure that this is your surgeon, then you need to go consult with others and compare. But I mean, we're quite amazing. So
We know
yeah.
you'll be back.
Yeah, and it's hard because we do give patients such an amazing experience. I can't tell you how many times patients have shared with me, from the beginning they walk into the office, when those doors open and they go into our living room, because it is a living room, okay? You have candy sitting in the bowl. You have a little kitchenette that you can go to and make yourself some hot chocolate, okay? And the other day, someone came up to me, one of the husbands of one of our patients came up to me and was like, "You guys have foam." I'm like, "I didn't know." I can put foam on my hot chocolate. I'm like, "Oh." So, those kind of things, it's not just
Yeah, it's a welcoming thing, right?
Mhm.
It's like if you were inviting someone in your home, you would offer them refreshments and you would give them a little niblet.
It's our
So
living room, so and
right,
they're
right.
usually very comfortable, and then we bring them back into the room. And there's so much thought that goes into the presentation there as well. I can even tell you the nurses even will heat up the implants. So when they're sizing, they're not cold. And I'm like, I would never
Really?
have thought about that. That's so
That's
thoughtful.
that's luxurious. I love that. I did not know that.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
But patients usually
Okay.
do share, like, from the beginning, the feeling that they have is just very comfortable and warm, and everyone's very friendly. And I definitely can see that even from someone who's new to the practice. And I have to say, it's just been amazing, and I'm looking forward to the coming years.
Oh, good. So where did you grow up, Ruthie?
So I am from a little tiny town in the Central Valley. Um, But I moved out when I was 18. I ran. I didn't wanna be in a little dairy town.
Bye.
So I moved to Santa Barbara, and
Okay.
I was in Santa Barbara for a long time, and I consider it a home. Yeah.
Yeah. In San Diego, do you love or
I
are you still
do.
getting used
I'm
to it?
getting used to it, but I have to say it's growing on me. Little areas. So right now I'm living
Mhm.
over in by Bird Rock, and I have to
Oh,
say
okay.
I think I found my place.
It's a fun it's a nice area. It's so nice, and all the little shops, and there's, like, a bread place that's supposed to be
Yeah,
amazing, a
there was a
bakery,
line out the door the
and
other day.
yes, I know. I saw a guy on YouTube talking about, like, top bakeries in San Diego or something that you've never heard of, and I've driven by that place where I'm like, "What are they waiting for?" Well, I would wait for bread in a line too because it sounds delicious, but, yeah, it's a cute little neighborhood, you're close to the ocean, you can walk to get food and coffee, and so it's yeah, that's a fun place. Now, have you gotten any, um like, places like, if somebody was coming to San Diego for the weekend, and you would say, "Ooh, you have to go here," whether it's an activity or food or coffee or what would you tell them?
Honestly, San Diego has so many places that I can share with you, the signature places that you have to go visit, but I probably am still exploring. And I love that there's so many coffee shops around. I definitely have made it a point on the weekends to kind of go to different coffee shops. And there's some I'm going to call it like little speakeasy ones because they're a little unique. And you kind of can find a coffee in every corner that has a little different vibe.
It's
And for me, it
uh-huh.
has been even like pink ones, like where you dress up in pink and
Oh my
Mhm.
gosh.
And then there's one in downtown, like, has a dinosaur, and I'm like, "Okay." But they're all, like, cute little adorable
How
places.
fun.
Mhm.
Okay, so my last question for you would be, what advice would you give to somebody who's coming to La Jolla Cosmetic Surgery Center for the first time?
I would say make sure you feel comfortable and confident. And, when you're speaking to your coordinator, make sure you relay the type of experience that you're hoping to have and the procedures that you're looking for and the goals that you have in mind. Your coordinator is your guide through the process. And the more open you are with them and allow them to guide you as well, the more you're going to get out of your consultation. That's my advice in the sense coming from a coordinator, because all the coordinators here are really just wanting to give you the best experience possible, that you walk out with all the information necessary for you to make an educated decision.
Because I think if people open up and instead of thinking like that defensive strategy, like, oh, she's going to try to sell me something, and you're really closed, right? But if you open up, if you're like, okay, this is a person who has my best interest at heart, let's just take that as a given, then you can be more open and rely on the patient coordinator to guide you through. And so I love the fact that are talking about opening up to the process. So anyway, well, Ruthie, we've been trying to do this for like 2 months. So I'm so glad we finally got you to come in the studio in Janelle's
I
office.
know.
and we have to do with what we've got. So but thanks for coming on the podcast and sharing a little bit about your patient care philosophy and sharing who you are and why you're with us. And I am so glad you are with us. So it's been a joy to have
I'm
you.
happy to be
Thank
here.
you.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Well, anybody, if you're listening, look in the show notes for links to things. And, all you have to do is just set up a little concierge call with one of our patient coordinators. We'll put that link in the show notes also. If you want to set time on your calendar, you can go online, you can schedule time, and you can put in the notes if you want to talk to Ruthie specifically. You could even say that. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.
Take a screenshot of this podcast episode with your phone and show it at your consultation or appointment, or mention the promo code PODCAST to receive $25 off any service or product of $50 or more at La Jolla Cosmetic. La Jolla Cosmetic is located just off the I-5 San Diego Freeway in the Zymed building on the Scripps Memorial Hospital campus. To learn more, go to LJCSC.com or follow the team on Instagram at LJCSC. The La Jolla Cosmetic Podcast is a production of The Axis, TheAxis.io.